I cannot believe that these exist. These are the latest Kabaya kits. They are not Transformers. They are from Takara's Brave series. This wave consists of X-Kaiser, J-Decker, and Gao Gai Gar. We're gonna set Gao Gai Gar off to the side for now and talk mainly about these guys right now, as they're the most similar. As you can see, they made it so that X-Kaiser and Deckard are about the same size in car mode, as opposed to the original toys where X-Kaiser was enormous. As you can see, they're same scale as smallest Transformers. And as you can see, they're also about the same size as Wind Charger, which came with the Kabaya Fortress Maximus kit. So these things are tiny. Start with X-Kaiser. He actually does attach to, I don't know, King Loader, I think this is called. It doesn't attach by a peg. There's actually little tabs right here, and they fit into slots right there. And you know, it actually fits pretty well. No issues there at all. And it looks pretty nice. One issue I do have is that these sections don't really sit straight. They're kind of at an angle. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong. I might be. So this may not be a fault of the kit. I don't know, we'll see. If I do figure out a way to make this work, I'll post an update and let you all know. Alright, let's get this guy transformed. Believe it or not, little X-Kaiser transforms. That is impressive. At this scale, that is crazy. As you can see, it's actually, as far as the top of the head goes, it's actually slightly shorter than Wind Charger, which was already tiny. I mean, this guy also transforms, which, you know, if you saw my review of a bootleg of the standard J-Decker toy, that thing was a parts former, and that thing was huge. You saw how big that thing was. At this scale, Kabaya made it transform all the way. It can be a bit of a pain. These arms do like to wiggle out of the shoulders right there, so keep that in mind. As you can probably imagine, at this scale, these are pretty fiddly. See what I mean? This one especially likes to pop off. The other one seems to be okay. There you go. As you can see, he's a lot taller than X-Kaiser. He's taller than Wind Charger. And here they are next to smallest Transformers Prime. So you can see these are tiny. Let's get this guy combined. For X-Kaiser, all you have to do is get his little arms ready. Same thing as always. Let's back this. These arms also can wiggle out sometimes. The pegs and holes are really tiny. This also really loves to wiggle out. That seems to be the biggest problem with this wave, is that there are parts that like to wiggle out just because there's so many tiny pegs and holes on these. Kabaya really went nuts with the engineering. And see what I mean about that? Notice how there's a gap between the shoulders and the body? Well, that's because Kabaya include a little mechanism, which is not on the original toy. There's a little swing bar there, so you gotta wiggle this shoulder up. That's crazy to try to do something like that at this scale. Sometimes it's easier to just let it pop off, because that is really fiddly. That's crazy. If you've seen my reviews of their Transformers Kabaya kits, you've seen those things are all parts formers. They all have big parts that pop up. Some of them almost completely dismantle. And we have now gone from that to this. Kabaya is definitely getting more ambitious with their engineering. Yeah, parts do tend to pop off of this, but it is technically designed to be perfect transformation. X-Kaiser, this little peg there fits between X-Kaiser's legs. So so he fits in there fine. He won't be rattling around inside. And there you go. King X-Kaiser all formed up. He does come with his sword. It's a nice big sword. All the Braves have really big weapons. It's one of the things I love about the Brave series. Robots should have giant swords. It's just right. Look at that. That's pretty big. For a comparison, here's Victory Saber. You've seen how big his sword is. So, I'm making this too hard for myself. Yeah, they're about the same length. X-Kaiser's sword is a little pointier, which is cool. As you can see, this guy is about the same size as all the Transformers kits we've seen, and it's perfect transformation. So yeah, Kabaya's not making these things any bigger. They're just improving the engineering. That's very promising. This has me excited for the future of the Kabaya line. Now let's talk about J. Decker. Right now you can see one of the problems. This does not like to tab into place, and it actually is supposed to. There's I don't know if you can see. Yeah, there's a hole right there. and there's a peg right there. It is supposed to peg into place. It's not snug enough to actually lock, so that's gonna be floppy. Even if you set it level, of course, nail it. Yeah. The only other real problem here is that a lot of the stickers tend to peel up. That's a very rampant problem with this wave. The stickers don't really like to stay in place, which, that's been a recurring problem with all the Kabaya kits, but here it seems particularly egregious. Alright, let's get this guy combined. This can be a little tricky. Just like on the standard toy, pulling the head out is a bit tricky. You gotta be... Oh, look at that, just went. Ooh. These peg into place. This part can be a little tricky because the front does peg together nicely. Nothing's really that loose on this guy. And there's an interesting mechanism here. These don't just fold down. You fold it, and slide it down. That locks them into place nicely so they don't flop around when it's a robot. Take them down. So yeah, it transforms just like it does in the show. Take this and this. Here's one spot where you're gonna see some sticker wear on this guy because it fits in here very tightly. There's as you can see, there's little tabs in there. Those don't correspond to any holes on this guy. They're just there to provide friction, which makes the fit very, very tight. So if you transform this guy too often, you are gonna see a lot of sticker wear. Fortunately, I don't really see any reason to transform this guy ever again because it just looks so nice in this mode that I don't want to ever leave this mode again. For as difficult to assemble and sticker as the thing is, and as fiddly as it can be, it looks really nice. He comes with his gun, sits in his hand quite nicely. It's a little bit loose, but I prefer this as opposed to pegs that are so tight it feels like they're gonna snap if you try to remove them. And there's another thing about this wave. There's nothing that fits so tightly that it feels like it's gonna snap if you try to remove it. A recurring problem I've been reporting with the Kabaya kits is that a lot of them have stress marks all over the place, and in one case there was an actual break. These are nice and durable. There are no stress marks anywhere on any of these. These feel very solid once they're built. Here's with X Geyser. J Decker's a little shorter. Of the three, this one has the most problems. It was the easiest one to build, but this one's definitely the most disappointing of the bunch. Definitely bigger than the other guys. And yet it's also the only parts former of the bunch. You have to take that off and reattach it. Now, if all the head had to do was fold down, I'm sure Kabaya would have just done it, because their design philosophy with this wave seemed to be, when in doubt, add a moving part. But since this has to fold down and rotate, they just had a part swap. The rest is fine though. Of course, that doesn't normally fall off. It's just doing that because I have a camera rolling. And anything that can go wrong will when doing a video review. There you go. As you can see, he's pretty big. I mean, not really that much smaller than the other guys. Right, the Gao machines are a little disappointing. They definitely took the easy way out with this one. These parts do tab together, but they don't stay that well. And the stickers on this are also problematic. These will not stay down at all. Now, if you're wondering, I did try flipping these around and seeing if you could attach them like that. Now that would have been cool. That would have made it look a bit better, but there's no peg roll or anything. There's nothing to lock them into place there, so that's a shame. If it could have done that, that would have been awesome. Oh well. What can you do? This one is a bit problematic as well. The stickers on this guy also will not stay in place at all. Especially these. I mean, these don't even have a flat surface to stay on. There's actually a molded vent back there, so the stickers just don't have much to grab onto. Some of the only poor design on these. This one is probably the best of the bunch. It still has some sticker problems like all of them, but nothing too terrible. It's mostly right at the edges of the wings. Right there, the stickers like to peel up, and this occasionally peels up a little, but not too bad. But it's fairly stable. Also, this was a pain in the butt to assemble because of these. I mean, all these red bits are individual stickers. I'm telling you, it took 7 hours to build this wave. Alright, but enough about the individual pieces. It's time for a final fusion. Now here's where it can get a little tricky. These actually do lock into place somehow, but you can't see what you're doing in there, so you kind of just have to wiggle it around and hope you hit the right spot. And eventually it does lock into place. It just so just all right, hang on, I'm gonna get this eventually. Ah, there we go. See, eventually it does click into place and they stay on. You can shake it, no problems there. Now this part you kind of have to do out of order. This, yeah, these arms plug directly into here, so it's easier to just put these on before you attach this. And you attach the fists, and this is a part that surprised me. You know, given how the Transformers Kabaya kits have been, I imagined that there would just be a peg or a hole right there and it would just peg into place. But no, they actually designed it so that once it pegs in, you actually have a working elbow. That is impressive. You know, Kabaya really went all out for this wave. They're done messing around. If it's possible to give something a joint or make it perfect transformation, they're gonna do it. Alright, now you can attach this. Now you have the final part. That's cool. And like the others, he has a weapon. There you go. Now there is one more thing left to address. There is a question with these. Are they going to be able to combine? And I am happy that I am able to say with confidence, yes, these are designed from the beginning to be able to combine. I don't know if Kabaya has any plans to do more Brave kits. I hope they are. But you know, if they do, they're not going to have to jump through hoops to make them combine. Like with this, Star Saber was not designed to combine from the beginning, so they had to come up with this panel that clips in. You have to wiggle Star Saber's feet out, and this ended up being kind of a fragile mess. I will never separate this again. The clips have bad stress marks. Star Saber's feet have bad stress marks. But they didn't plan that out. This is absolutely planned from the beginning to be able to combine. You know, as you can see, there's holes here and here that serve no purpose in any mode except that you're going to be able to fit Great X-Kaiser's boots into place. And on the arms, again, you know, that might even be another reason why they came up with that swing bar mechanism, so you could pull the arms out a bit and there's room for Great X-Kaiser's arms to slot over them. That might be what they were thinking there. And here, again, there's a little hole that serves no purpose in any it doesn't lock into X-Kaiser's head or anything. It does nothing except you'll be able to attach Dragon Kaiser's, whatever it's called. It can attach. So yes, this is designed from the beginning to be able to combine. This one as well. Again, there are holes in the feet. Oh, look at that. That must have come from the sticker sheet. Well, anyway, there's little holes that serve no purpose except you can attach Fire J. Decker's feet. Also, you have holes in the side, so there's a hole where you would attach gun Max. There's a hole here where you would attach the ladder. I'm not sure about, well, yeah, the arms do have little holes, so that'll work. And the chest armor will just clip on, like I showed you with the standard version. There doesn't have to be a hole there or anything. It just clips onto the sides. And even the back of the head. There you go. There's a little hole, so you're going to be able to attach Fire J. Decker's horns. Now, I know Kabaya's next kits are not going to be more Brave kits. The next wave they have planned is the Powered Masters from Transformers Zone, which is awesome. That's another one of my holy grails. And that's another thing off my wish list. You'll remember last year when I listed some things I wanted to see. I wanted to see the Powered Masters from Zone, the Battle Stars, a big Fortress Maximus, and some more Decepticons. So, Kabaya's going through that list. I got my big Fortress Maximus. I'm getting the Powered Masters. At this point, the Battle Stars are pretty much a certainty. They haven't announced it yet, but they're gonna do it, and I will definitely be buying them. I love Kabaya right now, and I think they love me back, because they are just making my dreams come true right now. I don't know what else to say about these. These are the best kits in the Kabaya line yet. Even if you're just a Transformers fan and you're not a big fan of Brave, you should get these anyway, just because they're that good. The fact that they're not Transformers may be a stumbling block for you, but you're going to have to ask yourself why. There's no better kits out there. They're fun. The engineering on these is great. They're, for the most part, perfect transformation. And they look great. And they're solid. There's nothing falls off. I told you X-Kaiser doesn't rattle around in there. I mean it. Everything about these kits is solid. These are awesome in every way that a Kabaya kit can be awesome. There's really no reason not to get these unless you are just scared of the challenge, because these are the most difficult kits to build yet. So there you have it. The first wave of what I hope will be many Kabaya Brave kits.